of Mombasa. But I can tell through the records that were there. Previously, what was being paid by NHIF, which was what was Linda Mama, was 2,500 shillings for a normal delivery. Today, SHA is paying a normal delivery between 10 to 12,000 shillings. You know, I'm only stating facts. The cesarean, NHIF was paying anywhere between around 5 to about 17,000. Today, SHA is paying 30,000 to 32,600 shillings for the same cesarean. Are there challenges? Of course there are challenges. That's why we're leaders. That's why we are here. That is why we have to be able to combat these challenges together. But the fact remains, it is this administration and it is this group of governors that have taken it head on to ensure that we have free universal health, something that started prior to many presidents trying to ensure that we have this free health care for our people. A journey has started. Naysayers are going to be there. Let those naysayers not be the ones who are going to be turning us down. And lastly, Your Excellency, I also envisage tomorrow's headline will read that State House hosts the youngest babies, and I'm wondering what they're fed here because they're very, very quiet. I was actually surprised. For those who don't know, we have a number of mothers and babies. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and asanteni sana. And with that, with those very many words, allow me to invite our able chair, the chair of the Council of Governors, who's also the governor of Wajir, Governor Jir, to be able to give his remarks.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto, CS, Excellency Governors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I know we're really stretched for time, but I just want to break protocol and invite the Governor of Nairobi, because these are his people, so they can greet them at least.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Madam First Lady, viongozi wote, allow me to recognize the protocol established. Many times, you know, the challenge of being in State House is people forget it's in Nairobi. But allow me to welcome everyone to Nairobi. Karibuni sana. Marafiki zangu CHPs, mpo? Excellency, hawa ni marafiki zangu sana wa dhati na wajua kwa majina. Ule alikuwa anafanya hivi ni Sean Mokorino huyu wako. Na ni watu wazuri sana na wanakupenda zaidi. Na pia wazazi ambao tumeona na watoto, karibuni sana. Your Excellency, I will not say much because of time. But really, I know today, and it's, you know, it's lingering in my heart, while we are celebrating maternal health care in our children, we have lost a number of children in Nakuru County. And I know you will lead us in a moment of silence, just to recognize the parents and the siblings who are mourning at that very tragic and heinous act that has happened, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, when the lady was speaking, you were very emotional because you felt her pain. So I want to thank you for what you've done in this healthcare space. 20 days after I became governor, na watakuambia, I was at Mama Lucy Hospital. And when I was there, I saw, you know, a sad situation. Women sharing beds, you know, the state of the hospital was bad. And so what I did, I set up a health reforms task force in Nairobi. That task force was led by Professor Olive Mugenda, we had Dr. Githinji Gitai, we had Dr. Masi Mwangangi, who you later took away from me. She was in that task force. And it recommended very briefly, and many others, those Dorcas Kemunto on the HR, human resource side, they recommended 3 key things that we have done and that we've seen improvement, and I will say them very quickly. Number 1 was to address the issue of governance in our hospitals. Our governance structure was really focused on just the medical professionals. Our hospitals in level 5 and 4 are led by medical superintendents. In Nairobi, we changed that. We have CEOs who look at the 360 degree of the hospital, from human resource to financing to equipment to facilities to supply chain. And Your Excellency, you will attest, before I became governor, every 2-3 weeks you would hear about Mama Lucy, you would hear about Pumwani, you would hear about children stolen, na siku hizi husikii hizo story. Because our CEOs have transformed. Our CEOs, and many of them are here, have transformed the governance in our hospitals in level 4 and level 5. Secondly, we brought together a hybrid board. All our hospitals have boards that combine professionals and community representation. In my boards, you will find a professor and a mamafua. You will find at Gaucho. You will find a doctor and a representative of the people. Because in that setting, Namaliza, Governor, in that setting, you need somebody who connects directly to the people. In fact, there was a lady, and Dr. Gitai will tell you, one of the best members of his board at Mbagathi, which is one of the best performing hospitals in this country, is a lady named Edwina Amamafua, who I found. And he says her contribution, because she herself gave birth in that hospital, her contribution to the issues of governance is sometimes beyond some of the professionals. So that's something I would encourage for us to do across the country. Ya mwisho kabisa, Your Excellency, our community health promoters wanafanya kazi. Mine, I have 7,860 in Nairobi, covering close to 800,000 households. Na Nairobi unajua ndo ilianza kulipa stipends, ni kweli? Na inachelewanga? Hata kitingika mnanioneshanga. Na mjai nitumie M-Pesa hata siku moja. But Your Excellency, their connection to the people on the ground can help us avoid the situations that we've had where mothers have not been able to go to hospital. They have challenges sometimes with equipment. We are trying to get them gumboots and raincoats. We pray that Your Excellency, you can enhance the kind of PPE that we give these community health promoters. Kwa hiyo mengi, let me recognize Esther Passaris. Esther Passaris is the women rep of Nairobi. Please stand up. It's good to recognize you. Hawa ni watu wako. Mungu awabariki, asanteni sana.
Your Excellency, where they just sit, if they could maybe stand up so that we recognize them. These governors have come from far. You know, if I don't do this next time, they'll say we came to State House, we weren't even recognized. I'll start with my Vice Chair, Governor Muthomi Njoki. Please just stand where you are so that people can see you. Governor Dr. Wilbur Otichilo Vihiga. Governor, Her Excellency Anne Waiguru, who is here. Governor, Her Excellency Fatuma Achani of Kwale. Her Excellency Cecily Mbarire of Embu. Governor Abdul Samad Sharif, who spoke. And then we have Governor Sakaja spoke. Governor Nadif Jama of Garissa. Nadif, that looks like. Benjamin Cheboy Baringo. Patrick Olentutu of Narok. Mohammed Ali of Marsabit. And Mohammed Khalif of Mandera. We also have a number of deputy governors representing their governors. I'll just read their names. Christine Kinanga of Taita, Jennifer Batiani of Bungoma, Lucy Mulili of Makweni, Her Excellency Ruben Kamori of Laikipia, Philemon Benia of Tanzania, Martin Moshisho of Kajiado, Dr. Yulita Mitei of Nandi, Robert Achaule of West Pokot, and Kinaniri Waroe of Nyeri. Your Excellency, I'll try and keep it short. It gives me great pleasure to join you today for the launch of Every Woman and Every Newborn Everywhere, a WENE acceleration plan, together with the Maternal and Newborn Health Rapid Results Initiative. These initiatives come at a critical time for our country as we continue to confront the unacceptable burden of preventable maternal and newborn deaths. I'll not go into the statistics. The good lady from WHO captured very well. Investing in maternal and newborn health is not only a moral obligation, but a smart economic investment for a country. Every dollar invested in maternal and newborn health yields, we're told, $8.4 to $13 in social and economic returns. Your Excellency, as a Council, we're committed to supporting, as a Council of Governors, COG, we are committed to supporting counties to improve maternal and newborn outcomes through strong leadership, coordination, and accountability. And this is why Your Excellency has spoken to by my predecessor here, and Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir, Governor of Mombasa and our Chair of Health. 8 months ago, we instituted the Inter-County Maternal and Perinatal Death Surveillance and Response MPDSR initiative, a county-led peer learning, joint problem solving, and advocacy focused on ending preventable maternal and newborn deaths. This initiative created a structured mechanism for cross-county learning. And the specific interventions led by the COG include developing inter-county MPDSR website, institutionalizing inter-county MPDSR dashboards, hosting monthly national high-level MPDSR webinars, provision of on-site technical support, mentorship, and peer-to-peer learning, including convening town hall meetings, continuous resource mobilization for counties, sustained advocacy through maternal and newborn health champions engagement, and county governments continue also to strengthen community health systems through improved awareness. Just giving the highlights. Despite these achievements, we have a great risk of losing mothers still, and we have a great task ahead of us to sustain the gains made and to leverage on the successes to achieve even more. Your Excellency, honorable members of Parliament are here. The question of giving health care for counties is also one of funding. A lot more can be achieved with a lot more funding, especially now that we've also noted that there's dwindling of donor resources. The policies that we propose, the regulations, laws, and policies must appreciate the need for coordination between the two levels of government, because as we saw at the dashboard there, a lot of the deliveries actually happen in county hospitals. At times, disease outbreaks continue to disrupt the ordinary provision of healthcare services and cause misdirection of critical resources. We still have some stockouts of supplies here and there, although there's a great improvement, and many times we also have infrastructural limitation. Your Excellency, I don't want to go into the issues of SHA. We will work with the CS and the CEO on the issues that the governors have, which I'm sure my colleague Abdul Sharif briefed you on, but I believe they are surmountable. Your Excellency, I just want to note for the record that as a president, you have set the right tone at the top. You have invested money. You have changed laws and policies to improve health. And the team of the CS. And I think we need to spend a lot more time together between the COG and the MOH to navigate the operational challenges so that your aim is not thwarted by operational inefficiencies on our side, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the resilience and effectiveness of our healthcare system is ultimately reflected in the state of our maternal and newborn health indicators. And across all counties, there has been significant improvement recorded. One of the things we'll be seeking is the consideration of the inclusion of level 4 and level 5 facilities in the free maternity services program, because in spite of the referral arrangements we put in place, many mothers still go directly to the level 4 and the level 5. As I conclude, Your Excellency, the global commitment to end preventable maternal and newborn deaths can only be achieved if all counties are adequately supported and enabled to deliver high-quality services. The NEST program is changing the face of many health facilities in this country. It's increasing their capability, and the program that we launched today for the 20 counties with the highest burden will also go a long way in assisting the counties with the highest burden to deal with matters of maternal health, maternal and newborn health. As a council, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to ensuring improved healthcare service delivery across all counties. Additionally, we call upon our partners to support the full implementation and operationalization of our investment case on maternal and perinatal death surveillance and response MPDSR platform as a critical way towards accelerating reductions in preventable maternal and newborn deaths. This launch is therefore not just another launch, Your Excellency. It's a call to action. It's a commitment to accountability. It's a renewed promise. It's a renewed promise to the women and children of Kenya. Together, let's move beyond boundaries and collectively accelerate actions towards ending preventable maternal and newborn deaths in Kenya. I conclude by reiterating your effort, Your Excellency, together with the First Lady, in ensuring the improvement of maternal and child health, newborn health in Kenya. With those many remarks, may I then invite my brother, the CS of Health, Aden Duale, to address us. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Her Excellency, our First Lady, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, allow me to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for honoring our invitation to personally launch the Every Woman, Every Newborn and Everywhere National Acceleration and Rapid Result Initiative. Your presence here today, sir, sends a very powerful message that the life of every Kenyan woman and every newborn matters at the highest level of government. Your Excellency, your commitment to health, and particularly to the well-being of mothers and newborns, has been very consistent, and it has demonstrated that this is not merely a health agenda, but one of the highest priorities of your administration. Through your leadership, we have witnessed a deliberate focus without financial hardship. We are particularly encouraged, Your Excellency, because we know this initiative carries with you your energy, your commitment, and your strong engagement both nationally and internationally in advancing health priorities. We are eager to pick from the momentum generated by your leadership, your advocacy, and your ability to mobilize partnership and global support around the issue of the matter of the people of Kenya. Your Excellency, we are confident that this initiative will succeed because presidential commitments changes and brings good outcomes. When the leadership at the highest level places focus on an issue, systems align, institutions respond, resources are mobilized, and implementations are accelerated. Today, therefore, Your Excellency, marks a shift from commitment to implementation. The Mwena initiative and the Rapid Result initiative are designed to ensure that interventions already made have proven and have saved lives, which are delivered at our public, private, and faith health facilities. Your Excellency, most maternal and newborn deaths are preventable. The challenge before us is not lack of knowledge of what works, but ensuring that the right interventions reach every mother. The most needed. And the Ministry of Health, Your Excellency, is therefore focusing on the practical drivers of survival, skilled health workers, emergency obstetric and newborn care, functional referral systems, blood services, and interrupted availability of life-saving commodities. And we have established, Your Excellency, a very ambitious but achievable targets aimed at expanding skilled deliveries, strengthening antenatal care, increasing county capacity for specialized care for both the sick and the newborn. Finally, Your Excellency, I call upon all our 47 counties who have worked with us day and night, our healthcare workers, our development partners, our professional associations and unions that are here today, our communities, to rally behind this initiative, because under your leadership, we now have both the political will and the technical pathway to ensure that no mother or newborn is left behind. Your Excellency, the country is ready for this step change. We are ready to implement your vision of a Kenya where no mother loses her life while bringing forth another. It is now my distinct honor and humble privilege to invite His Excellency the President to deliver our keynote address and officially launch this accelerated. I ask all of us to stand up.
Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Waheshimiwa viongozi wote, mashujaa wetu CHPs, public officials here led by chiefs, wamama wetu pamoja na watoto, hamjambo. An issue that goes to the very heart of our nation's dignity, the survival and the well-being of our mothers, and newborns. No nation can truly call itself progressive when women continue to lose their lives while giving life. Every maternal death is a profound tragedy, especially because the overwhelming majority of these deaths are preventable. As President, I reaffirm today that no woman in Kenya should die deserves not only the right to survive, but also the opportunity to thrive. While Kenya has made progress in expanding access to health, we must also acknowledge that maternal and newborn deaths remain unacceptably high. With only 4 years remaining before meeting our national and global targets, it can no longer be business as usual. We cannot continue losing precious lives to preventable causes. When I say unacceptably high, I mean that, and I remember an incident. I was in New York last year, and a lady, Professor Sanait of Warren Buffett, she walked to me and told me, Mr. President, women and children are dying in your country. You know, I looked at that lady, and it was a very embarrassing moment to me. It was tragic, really. Because she went on to tell me, you are in the league of Afghanistan. I don't know whether you people know where that is. You know? And she told me Kenya is a very progressive country, and it is shameful that mothers continue to lose lives when they are giving birth, and newborns continue to die. And it quickly reminded me of my very own personal experience. Mama Rachel here and I lost our firstborn son. So it's not something that is far-fetched. It's not something that is a story. It's a reality that we live through every day. And health, as I have always said, cannot continue to be a privilege for those who can afford, those who have jobs, or those who have money. It cannot. Health must be, as is in the Constitution, Section 43, a right for every citizen of the Republic of Kenya, irrespective of who they are, where they come from, their social, economic status, or whatever other persuasion. And it is the reason why I was willing to do anything to make sure that universal health coverage succeeds. I am very happy today. Today, I can say here with confidence, and governors are here. They are the ones who run our health institutions. Today, we have a different story. It is not what it was. Sometimes people don't want to say, because as I said earlier, good news is never news. You know? And I saw Abdul Swamad trying to persuade the media as to what kind of headline to have tomorrow. I want to tell you, Abdul Samad, you will never get such an headline. Because it will sell no newspaper. You know? But that aside, what we are doing here today, when I came back from New York, I called Aden Duale and I told my friend, it cannot be. These women in Kenya cannot continue to die. I'm very happy that the progress we have made in the last 6 months is clear and demonstrable. In 6 months' time, God willing, we must cut down by half the number of women and newborns, by half. And we must progressively drive it to the place where we can account for every mother and every child. We can account for every pregnancy. And I have instructed the Digital Health Authority, and the CEO is here. I receive reports every evening between 10 and 11 p.m. on the registrations of SHA and all the other things that we must now have. How many mothers and how many newborns did we lose every day? Who are their names? Who are their names? Which facility? Which health professional? Because all these are preventable. And therefore we must hold each other to account. Now I'm very happy governors are here. We did mobilize resources because apart from everything else that we are doing, there was need for resources. There is need for equipment for us to be able to capacitate the hospitals to handle these situations. And you see, when we talk about pregnancy, it's not about women. No woman gets pregnant on their own. So no, the men, we must not pretend that we are here and this is a women issue and it should be about, no. We must also be candid about us because every pregnancy a man is involved. And number two, a pregnancy doesn't happen, childbirth doesn't happen overnight. You know, this is, you have notice of 9 months. So to pretend at the very last minute that you are not organized, you didn't know, I don't know what happened, is to be, it is not correct. How we end up with an emergency on a situation we have 9 months notice is completely reckless. There is no emergency that of 9 months, honestly. So this cannot continue. And the 20 counties that have the highest burden, the names are here. The 20 counties. We have real people. We have leaders in those counties. We have women leaders in those counties. We have governors in those counties. We have members of parliament in those counties. We have chiefs and everybody. And I want to promise you that I will lead from the front. That is what I have done. Until we stop this. A maternal or newborn death does not only devastate a family, it weakens the very foundation of a community and a nation. When a mother survives, her child is more likely to be immunized, well-nourished, educated, and become productive. By protecting mothers and children, we are not merely saving lives. We are breaking cycles of poverty and building a stronger future for Kenya. It is for this reason that today we launch the Every Woman, Every Newborn, Everywhere Acceleration Plan 2026-2028, Kenya's national roadmap to end preventable maternal and newborn deaths and strengthen the systems that protect families across our country. At the center of this plan is an immediate 6-month maternal and newborn health rapid results initiative running from now until November 2026. This will be an urgent nationwide effort to deliver measurable results and accelerate action where it matters most. We already know the greatest threats facing women and newborns: delays in seeking care. My good Leah just told us what the situation is. Delays in reaching health facilities and delays in receiving quality treatment once at these facilities. These challenges are often worsened by weak referral systems, shortages of essential medicines, and gaps in frontline health services. Today, I'm therefore declaring a whole of society response to this challenge. This is not a task for the Ministry of Health alone. It's not about the county alone. It requires all of us: the national government, the county government, parliament, religious leaders, and I'm happy Kabiru, the Bishop of Nairobi,